Okay, CVs. Now, for any of you out there, if you haven't got a CV, I would seriously think about getting one, because without a CV nowadays, recruitment agencies, companies out there will really struggle to see you if they don't know you. Now, a CV is your selling tool, it's your selling platform. Now, the rule of thumb is 2 pages. Maximum type size would be 12, and please be reasonably careful with the font that you use. Nothing too elaborate, nothing too fancy. Make sure there's plenty of white space, but not too much that it looks bare, and the margins are set at a good size. Now again, everyone's very different, and I'm not going to give you specific measurements, but it needs to look aesthetically pleasing. Now, as I said, your CV is your selling tool. The first part is to make sure that you have your name. Please do not put curriculum vitae on the top. We know what it is. Just put your name in big, bold letters. You can underline it if you wish, but not capitals. Never put capitals in a CV. It looks like you're shouting at someone. Then we have your personal details. These are your contact details. Very important these are correct. Very important that you have your contact details on there. You'll be surprised at the amount of CVs that we get in with an incorrect telephone number, no telephone number, wrong email address. Talking about email addresses, I would also say that if you have quite a unique one, and with that maybe something a little bit naughty, I would avoid having that as an email address for somebody to contact you. And equally with a telephone number, if you have a rather bizarre answer phone message, again, I would suggest you keep answer phone message pretty basic and pretty normal. So contact details, telephone address, email. If you have a Twitter account as well, it's entirely up to you. But please remember that nowadays employers do look at Facebook. They potentially would try and find you on Twitter. So if there's things on there that you don't want them to see, then that might just be a little lesson out there. The second section would be your personal profile. Now, this is a whole topic in itself, but a personal profile in a nutshell is a summary of what you've done in your working history, and then a sentence or two about what it is that you're looking for. Now, we have an example online of a tailored CV of somebody that we feel, obviously, if we saw this CV, we wouldn't doctor it. It's exactly the sort of CV that we would put out to our clients. But please remember, it's your personality, but avoid the words of "you're a motivated, enthusiastic, reliable person." All employers are looking for that. You should be that anyway. Please don't put it on there. There's other words that you can use that basically says that very same thing. Now, there's 2 methods of thought here. One is that you can now put your work history or employment history. Don't put work experience. That has connotations of a young apprentice who maybe hasn't got any work history at all. But work history, say employment history, or education. Now again, that very much depends on the age of the individual. If you've been in employment for a long time and you had your education a while back, then I put your education qualifications on the second page. If you're quite new and you're probably only sort of 1 or 2 jobs, you're sort of 3 or 4 years into your sort of working life, then I'd put your degree or your A-levels, your GCSEs and your other qualifications on the front page. This is also an opportunity to put further or other qualifications. You might have a first aid course, you might have a St John's ambulance certificate, you might have a SAGE course, and these are things that aren't educational, as in they're not the normal GCSE A-level route. We then, obviously, if you're depending on whether it's work experience, work history or your education, we then look at hobbies and interests. Very important to obviously show a variety of things that you like doing. You can bullet point them, you can look at them sort of in a paragraph format, but I do think it's nice for people to see, because you never know, that might be the connection with you and the interviewer, especially like fly fishing or something like that. And lastly, references. And again, this is a personal choice. Personally, I would say available on request, and then at the interview hand a reference sheet over, or maybe even a written reference you've already got. But if you do put your references down there, make sure that you've got their permission, and secondly, they are aware that they might get a phone call. By law, they can't be contacted unless you give them permission to do so. So that is it in a nutshell. There's a whole load of information out there on our website regarding how to write a CV. But if you want any questions, then any of the consultants can help. We would be obviously happy to have a chat with you.